Good evening, good morning. Welcome to the Sinkhole. I'm Nick.
Not good night. I'm Steve.
I'm Casey. I mean, yeah, why not good night?
I mostly listen to podcasts while I'm trying to fall asleep.
We're
so
also record. What? We're that boring?
No,
Good.
not our podcast, but other podcasts.
Ones.
Mostly D&D podcasts where it's just a bunch of lore stuff that I'm like, oh my gosh.
Are you one of those? So you're not into the RP heavy D&D podcast?
Oh no, I
Real
am.
Place. Okay.
Oh, but I want to be awake to hear that.
Oh,
the stuff
that's
that's like just like, oh hey, we're doing a 40-minute deep dive in Koatoa's
I mean, I'm in.
Dungeon Cast.
Okay.
That's all I'm saying.
I listen to like 4 right now.
Yeah. Anyways, what I was going to say, two thoughts as we were continuing the conversation before anybody else knows what we're talking about.
Yeah, a warm-up conversation.
Yeah. I realize I need a seat that can like move around because that opening song is a banger, and I need to like get my flow on.
Yes.
For the video portion.
The chairs that we're eventually going to get here are like $130 a piece
Okay.
is the issue. So I just don't.
I mean,
the
like
money for the.
I just want like a
particular
doctor's
chair.
stool, you know, like how there's just like an open back stool that you can wheel around, spin around. That's all I need.
I'm trying to get like, not like the salon chairs, but it's the only thing I can really think of. It's
Oh,
like,
yeah.
like little halfbacks, but they can go up and down. So because the
So that would
table
be
is
fun.
slightly over, like it's meant for board games and shit. Still,
Yeah.
So, no, completely nobody knowing what's going on. I'm in Target trying to purchase. I don't remember what. I was probably looking at Beyblades, but I was there there was actually a purpose in the trip. And I'm looking in the back, and I'm walking through the video game aisle. Oh, I was picking a Pokemon Mystery Dungeon.
Hell yeah.
And I'm going through, and I'm wearing my Recess hoodie because I love supporting my FLGS. And I'm not recognizing I'm in Dickies khakis.
Mm-hmm.
So I look 100% like an employee.
So
And
your
this-
recess hoodie's red.
Yes.
Yes.
So this little girl comes in like, excuse me, do you have blah, blah? I was like, sweetie, I'm sorry. I just happen to be wearing a red hoodie. I don't work. She's like, oh, okay. Like, she looked depressed, and her mom just starts laughing at her. She's like, oh my God, that's hysterical, sweetie. It's like,
You should have helped her out, man.
And then the mom apologizes, like, it's cool. Like,
Yeah.
I didn't
Should have been like, all right, here's the game, $20.
She wanted some book from some author that I know nothing about. 'cause
Oh, yeah,
it's
that's a little tough then.
literature.
Yeah, I don't know
So
anything
I got-
about books.
It's Wizard of the Coast, I don't know it.
It is always dangerous to go to any of the retailers if they have their uniform as khakis and then whatever color, and you happen to wear that without really thinking of it. Because, yeah, odds are they're going to ask you, because I've had something similar, but at least like it was like a lady was asking like, oh, do you know anything about this game? And I'm like, well, I don't work here, but I can tell you about it.
I probably know more about it than the
Hey,
person
you
who
look
works
like a nerd.
Yeah, you dumb nerd.
You're a grown man hanging out with the video game section at Target.
I mean, yeah,
Yeah.
why not?
Speaking of things
Video
like
games.
that, so I was at Petco the other day because I had to get food for my gecko. It's a powder. They were out of it. I was pissed.
Did not think that was the track that
Oh, yeah,
sentence
no,
was
yeah.
going to go for.
Yeah,
Mine.
anyways.
He's going to say he found a copy of Gex, and we're going to go play that.
Hell yeah.
Actually, I have the original Gex Enter the Gecko for the
Dude.
PlayStation.
So good.
We're going to play it. It has all the movie references you could ever want, including The Empire Strikes Out.
Oh my God.
I only remember that one because as a kid, I'm like, ah! Star Wars, my friends!
So Nick yesterday.
Exactly. Yeah. Me every day, basically. Like,
Okay, sorry. So you're
PTSD.
getting food for your gecko.
yes. So I'm in the reptile section, and I'm looking. I'm like, oh man, they're like basically saying, hey, during this time, please, if you're gonna buy a reptile, please don't. Just because everything going on, it's like, hey, if you're gonna be home, you need to know what you're doing. But it made me like intrigued because I'm looking through and it's like, oh, cool. They have a lot of snakes. They got a couple spiders. And I'm like, I don't need either of those. But I get to one section and they have crested geckos. That's what I have. They had 5 hatchlings. Things had to only be like 4 weeks old. But they had one that is a color morph that is incredibly rare and valuable. It's called an orange creamsicle because it's orange on the side and cream colored on its back.
Okay.
And it has like almost like Dalmatian spots that are like cream colored going on top of the orange. I don't know how it was. What I'm getting to is I almost bought 5 fucking lizards for $60 a piece.
And somehow this is video game related.
Oh, it's totally video game related because that's my vice is I need to harvest all the lizards.
Because we just played Bargain Quest the other night, and you're like,
Yeah.
I know how money works in a store.
I know retail.
Can these heroes fight the evil, dreaded pirate witch?
If I had a handful of lizards and another handful of lizards, do I win? Absolutely. Can I beat anyone? Yes. You throw the sacrificial lizards at them and you keep the others in your pocket. You win. Anyways,
I'm a little salty at you two right now.
why?
Because we've been doing various podcasts for a couple months now, and none of you have noticed I put pictures on the wall, and there's brand new curtains in here.
Well, okay, if the curtains are brand new.
That one didn't even have curtains.
Okay. Fair enough. Actually, speaking of these curtains, nobody else can see them. That's the color orange that those orange creamsicles
Okay, I like it. That's cool.
The geckos looked exactly like that pattern.
Actually,
Dude,
close
if the
enough.
geckos look like that pattern, I'd get a gecko.
I could see why
Hey,
that'd be
they're-
the highest value.
You don't want the juveniles because they still eat crickets and stuff, but once they reach adulthood, the crested geckos, all they eat is fruit. And
What
nectar.
was... what did... Red-backed salamanders? Red tail salamanders?
There's,
Red
I mean,
tail.
there's red tail salamanders. There's a bunch of different. There's tiger salamanders. Those
No,
are
it was
vicious.
red...
There's newts, firebelly newts.
No. I was thinking it was if a red tail salamander's a thing, it was that. Whatever Mrs. Johnson had in 3rd grade at Village,
I think it was
and
that.
I had to take them
Well,
home.
there is a redback salamander.
Then it's that. I
A
like.
little squirmy boy.
Yes, that thing.
It was nice.
I got to take care of them. Can you
What?
imagine right now if you were a parent who your kid got to take care of the class pet for the weekend, and you are boned with that thing until next year?
That's awesome. I would love it.
Think about this. Some mom's like, we got this damn hamster.
Oh,
Just kill it.
God. I mean,
Take it outside.
Like at least like I think the lizards would be manageable, but yeah, if you're stuck with the hamster or the rabbit, like
The rabbit
They
would be cool.
smell, man.
yeah, or
Rabbits
the
you could put on-
chickens.
Wait, why do we
What
have
class has a chicken?
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm just throwing. It
I
out
know.
there.
I know. We
I'm
live
thinking
in
of like cute little animals.
You can
that
have
can,
a
like,
we live in
chicken.
Ridge, Tucky, but like, come on.
Ding, 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 ding. We got the corn fest. We got the corn.
Hell yeah, we got the
bread.
Corn Fest.
You know, I've never been.
We can walk there.
Yeah,
Larry and I literally walked every day because the very first smoothie stand, if you bought like the refillable cup, it was $2. So we'd walk, get a refill, and come
Yeah.
back.
And then you have perfect view from both my house and his house of the fireworks.
Oh, it's the best here.
Yeah.
Literally, it's at the end. We sit in the
Yeah.
road,
Nice.
and they're at the park right
think-
there.
I think
Noise.
last year
Some people are going to know where I live now.
Yeah. We were close enough that you could still like feel a little bit of the shockwave. I think I might be misremembering.
We were
You were just having
drinking a lot,
palpitations.
That's true. Yeah.
and there were children everywhere.
Yeah.
But probably.
That would chill.
But it is super nice. You can literally just sit
Mhm.
there and look straight out. It's a good time. So we're here. We're on episode 2. Guys.
Episode 2.
Guys.
Oh, yeah, it is episode 2.
It is episode 2. Yeah, right? Like,
The one where Steve-
collectively, it's not episode 2.
The one where Steve keeps looking at pictures of crested geckos. That's the color.
Dude!
Yeah.
Okay, I would
Huh.
get that.
Yeah, that's an adult one.
I would name him Chad.
That's
No, Randy.
Well, this is totally a
Randy!
That is so a Randy.
That's Randy.
Or should we call him Sal Randy?
Okay, get the hell out of here with your
Okay.
nonsense. Just leave.
Is that a bad salamander pun?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, there.
I didn't know we were going with that.
Yeah.
But we are on the Stitchers, we're on the iTunes, we're on the Spotify's.
Correct.
We just got to get on the Googles.
Are you gonna bring your mic back to yourself?
I want to be at the far distance to keep the skit going that I walked away. The punishment of my pun.
Punishment.
Rage.
Speaking of punishment,
Tonight's not sponsor is.
I'm just gonna mute you two, so you just hear it through me just silently. So you just hear in the background, you hear just me going.
I'm okay if the audio is just Steve and I loudly in the muffled background. Rage.
Go do it from outside. See if it comes through the window.
oh,
Okay.
Do it. Don't
No.
challenge us.
I need to go get another round anyway.
You can do it later.
So actually, truly speaking of video games,
Of Raid Shadow Legends.
There's a lot of video games.
3 big ones have dropped: Half-Life
Biggins.
Alyx, Doom Eternal, and Animal Crossing.
So, Half-Life Alyx, Alyx.
Yes.
I can spell. Is it a sequel to Half-Life 2? Is it a prequel?
It's a
Prequel
prequel.
to 2.
It's a prequel.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
It's
that's the one that I
five.
haven't
It's
really.
5 years before the
2.
Citadel's
the
built.
free man.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then I think I read a spoiler of how it ends, but it came out before the actual game came out, so I'm not sure if it's like was one of those like fake posts or. If
I
it
don't know,
actually
but don't
was.
spoil it. 'Cause
Yeah.
I'm
Right,
just
that's the
gonna
thing.
watch-
That's why I
I'm
just
gonna
want to.
watch other
Oh.
people.
Yeah.
I wanna
Sorry.
finish it.
To everyone at home, I just cracked my neck and it sent a shockwave down my spine.
I'm gonna re-listen to that in the hopes that I
Um,
hear it.
You
in
could
my
probably
back.
hear it like through my mouth. It was
Nice.
like right at the base of the
Yes, it is.
skull.
It is 5 years before the Citadel.
Yep.
So before, Vance, like before everything, it's 5 years before
Yeah.
it all happens.
I've been, because I am poor and I do not have VR, I've been watching a friend play and PewDiePie play. And there's moments where the game looks cool, but for me, supposedly, and I'm only going to talk about like the opening moments, so it should be spoiler free or as free to talk about as possible. Like in the opening moments when you walk outside onto the balcony,
Oh, yeah.
and the big walkers overhead, like from viewing it being streamed, you're just like, oh, okay, that's pretty cool. But I'm pretty sure in the moment with the VR,
Oh, yeah.
you're like, holy shit.
How
Yeah.
detailed that game is.
There was
Yeah,
actually,
I did notice
you,
that.
You can look down. There's people walking
Yeah.
on the streets, and I was watching Robaz.
Yeah.
Posted his. He took an apple or something and like threw it, and it almost hit somebody walking on the road, and they reacted.
Yeah.
I mean, we're talking the tiniest little person in the background of this thing
Mm-hmm.
actually moved when an apple was thrown at them. Like this
Yeah.
it's phenomenal. It's
That's what, well, like I said,
Oh.
Djibouti kept messing around with stuff, found the one bug,
Yep.
and it's all because he kept grabbing everything that you could interact with. He's like, oh, I'm doing it. I'm grabbing it. I'm doing stuff. And they found one of the NPCs that's helping you out,
Russell?
he reacts to you like messing with him. And the first time they do it, he's reaching for something and he accidentally looks like he pokes him in the forehead and he goes like, knock it off. And like swats at him. And then he's like, oh, I'm going to have some fun here. And so he just straight up backhands him. And his head rocks back as if he got hit and everything. And he's just like, and he like looks at you like angry, like, will you be serious now? And it's like, come on. So he kept taking different things. And he found a cucumber and
So-
he's like poke him in the ear, poke him in the mouth and the nose. And you see him go like, come on.
So along those lines, I'm gonna go spoiler free on this. There's a section where something happens that you cannot avoid,
Uh-huh.
but there's a button that you hit.
I know what you're talking about.
If you keep hitting the button,
Oh, no.
the Combine keep telling you like, don't touch the button, keep your hands up, stop hitting the button, don't hit the button. I told you don't do it. And like the 4th or 5th time, they shoot the button, so you can't hit the button anymore.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
And I was like, you gotta
Yeah.
be kidding me right now! Like that was
such
great.
a small detail.
Oh, because because if you're gonna do VR, you have to understand that if people can hit something,
Oh, yeah,
they're
going
gonna
to
hit it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Robaz
if you
was
could
making-
interact, if you could take a picture off the wall, people are going to take every picture
Well, to a
off the
degree,
wall.
look at what they did with the markers.
Oh, that
like
was
you could
great.
pick up the markers.
Yeah.
Everyone I was watching, they're drawing penises because
Why not?
Why
That's
not?
what
A
you do.
walrus.
yeah, for him, yeah,
He drew a
that's what-
walrus, and then he drew a penis on the TVs. He was also stocking up on toilet paper.
Nice. One of my friends
Sign
who
of our
I was
times.
watching play, he walked past a broom. I'm like, oh, can you pick up the broom? And he's like, yeah. And I'm like, can you push? And like, I really wish I was in the room to see him virtually try and push a broom because I'm pretty sure he looked slightly stupid.
Is this T?
No, this is another friend, Alex. Actually, it was really funny because since the main character's name is Alex and his actual name is Alex, he would like freak out sometimes because you know,
Alex.
yeah, like what?
Yeah.
Because
It looks super good.
yeah,
I get why you can do the teleport move or the control move.
Mhm.
I think the teleport move takes you out of it.
Supposedly, I think there's a third option from what Alex was telling me is that if you push the move button, whichever direction your head's looking at, it will start moving you instead of
That
the
would
finger
be
point.
Oh, that'd be
way-
great.
Yeah, he said that was not good because it quickly messes with you. But I could see a small percentage of VR players would actually prefer that. I think I'd prefer the whole finger point one.
I'd rather just be able to.
I've had some
move
times where
freely.
it's messed with me. It definitely changes. Like I did a review of when Skyrim came to VR, and I was the only one at the website that had VR at the time. So like, hey, will you do it? I was like, yeah. And it was a struggle to get past the opening.
Oh yeah.
Because my body like didn't know what to do. So I was like, I had to re-ask my boss, like, hey, what's the minimum amount of time I have to put on this? Because I'm telling you right now, my opening paragraph is going to be, this is hard to play.
Yeah.
And it's not like it was bad. It's the same
Yeah.
shit graphics as Skyrim is. Like,
Yeah.
it's not good looking. But like, you have to do, there's so much movement. And it was really cool to be in it all. But man, I couldn't play for more than about 30 minutes at a time without wanting to puke.
Yeah.
And I can imagine Alex's, I'm not going to say, I think it would be better just because it's more polished and looks more real, unlike
Yeah.
Skyrim that still looks like a janky mess.
Yeah. Also, you're also, like you said, you're talking about Skyrim, which is a janky mess,
Versus
and
something
Valve
is-
somehow figured out to release a game.
Yeah.
Since
15 years later?
Portal 2.
13 years later?
When
When did Half-Life 2 come out?
04.
Yes, that was.
So 15 years later?
Yeah. Yeah.
16.
And then Portal 2 was 2010.
That was
I mean, they've
2010.
released
Yeah,
games
it was
since
2010.
Portal.
Unless you want to count like Dota.
I mean, it's a Valve game.
Yeah.
Dota 2, and then I think Counter-Strike Go. But like the last like full like to the market as in like physical retail, last one was Portal 2.
Damn.
Because Counter-Strike Go and
Orange
Dota
Box
2.
was still the first thing I ever bought with a PlayStation 3.
Nice.
Really?
You have the most pure form of TF2.
The worst form of TF2.
Also
Yeah.
true.
Yeah.
No hat TF2, no mod TF2. I don't want it.
Honestly, I thought that game was phenomenal up until the free to play. When it went free to play, that's when it went to shit. Just sad.
All I know is I bought the game before every single person in the
Correct.
friend group because you were all bitching about $20.
I was ready to
To
go on
be
Orange
fair,
Box.
$20 can get you a lot of things.
I
We
was
were nerds. We weren't doing anything else. We were playing We were playing Dota and Warcraft 3 on repeat.
mhm.
I was.
You were not.
Uther Party. But no, I was excited for TF2, and I never played Half-Life at that point, so Orange Box for me was perfect.
Yeah.
I think I was only maybe like 1 or 2 months behind you getting.
I remember there was a lengthy.
Yeah.
there's
But then once finally everyone got on board with TF2, that was like the core game.
Yeah, I guess Portal 2 was the last one that actually had a physical release.
And then you also had that failure artifact, which apparently was getting a massive rework or a sequel. I don't know.
What now?
I don't. I
Artifact
thought it
is
was
their
a great
trade carding
idea.
game.
Oh.
Their trade carding game.
Card
I
trading.
love that. I know. I like trade carding game way more than trading card game.
Yeah.
That's way cooler. Yeah, it was a Dota 2 card game, but it still had 3 lanes with 3 separate decks. It involved. I think it didn't go over well because it actually took significantly more thought than other games.
And to a degree, how it was presented, it was essentially kind of just the fact that the teaser was essentially just a CGI trailer announcing the card trading game. Trade carding.
Trade carding.
Trade carding.
It's still
Sorry,
TCG.
trade carding.
It's still
Digital.
TCG.
But everyone's like, okay, Valve's just trying to chase after Hearthstone, and there was like 1 or 2 other.
I mean, there's a bunch.
Yeah. But like there was like a lot of, it was almost as bad as the Diablo for the mobile announcement. We're like, it was really cool. Like we're all hyped for Diablo 4, and then all of a sudden it's like we got it for the phone, and they're like, oh, okay, and then they're like,
You all have phones.
don't you? It's like, oh,
I
boy.
like the thought of Artifact a lot, and I hope it comes back. I did enjoy the bit that I played.
The latest report I heard is that either they're working on a sequel or they're doing just full on sequel, or like the rework was then just merged into a sequel at that point.
Yeah, I think it's just a separate game.
Yeah, which is probably smarter to do. Oh, that was the other, I think, downside that hurt Artifact was that you had to pay $20 to get the game, and then you had to pay more on top of it to get all the cards or whatever you needed.
I mean, that's
I could be wrong, and this is all like reading,
No,
not so much
that was-
actual
Would this be a
hands-on.
good transition into Super Krakens?
Yeah, yeah.
Nick introduced a new subclass of human being, apparently.
and I don't
Yeah.
like it.
Yeah. So in the mobile market, you have I think it's the free to
Mobile
players,
gaming
which are
expert Nick.
which I'm not at all.
Yes,
It's
you
just-
are.
because
in
of
Buy this group, buy this
Shadow
group.
Yes, you
Legends.
It's like you have your minnows, which are like the true free to players, and then you have like
What would a sea bass be?
the ones that like pay like $10 like once every 3 months or something.
Whoa. You're telling me a Chilean sea bass?
You didn't say Chilean.
I
Let's
know,
start with that.
sorry.
Yeah. So the dolphins are probably like honestly, I think 30 a month or 60 a month, and then you have your whales, which are like the heavy dumpers, which are like in the hundreds, like thousands in there. And now within Star Wars Galaxy Heroes, there's been one specific event called Clash on Camino to get General Anakin Skywalker, who's essentially a mini raid boss unit that you can control. And you've had to dump so much money in a short time span because CG used to have it where they would just let you know this event's coming and then just drop it on you without any warning, and you have to like panic farm and buy all this gear. Hence the term Kraken came out of it, because people were dumping a ton of money. To kind of put a little bit in perspective, some of the top who call themselves whales within this community have put anywhere between 20,000 to 40,000 into this game since it came out in 2015.
I don't even know. Never mind. I
Yeah.
mean, they're getting something out of it in terms of that.
Correct.
They want.
Their-
I feel like
their-
our
their
podcast will
argument-
always end up talking about this.
Their argument was it's a hobby equivalent to someone buying a bunch of train models. My argument to that, though, is once those servers go off, though, all that progress
I mean, if
is
they just
gone.
want to give somebody $20,000 and I could be like, oh yeah, it's a hobby. Just give me $20,000 over what a 5-year span.
I have never once looked at anything I do to try to make more money off it in the future because it's old.
Right.
I've never thought that. I've thought to spend it now to make more money now.
But
Which is-
anyway,
I think train people just like trains.
Yes.
yeah, it's true.
The
So is
comparison was odd.
So
And there's some I mean, speaking of that, because my grandfather was somewhat of a train person. He had a model train room, but
I got a buddy that's a huge room
I
in
mean,
his house.
there was a period of time where he was really a lot of it, and then once he had the train room built, he was like, "Well, it's a pain in the butt to keep up, basically." But I mean, there were certain models or sets that he was looking for, because he either liked the design or something, from his childhood, remembered riding on one of them or something. So that I can understand, and especially if it's, if you're looking for an old Walter model train, they don't make them anymore. There's certain ones they only make for 1 year, and once it's done, it's done. That makes sense. I get that. But it's digital, man. You're collecting a computer algorithm.
so
Correct.
are we saying the issue?
Oh, my issue is that these people take pride in the fact that they spend $20,000.
I mean, that's
Mhm.
weird.
Yeah.
Is it as big of an issue that it's a mobile game as opposed to being a PC game?
I want to
do
say
you look more down on it because you go,
No.
dude, it's a phone game?
I would say maybe 10 years ago I would have.
I totally do.
At this point, I kind of don't care.
I think it depends on what the game is for it.
Because after going through like TF2 and Rainbow Six Siege now for me, that's amazing voice crack. Because I
We're gonna
bought the
edit out you
game.
saying amazing voice crack and me saying amazing voice crack.
I bought the game. I bought like every single year pass, and I'm gonna get probably the battle pass for this one that drops tomorrow. So I've like put money on top of it even more. I bought some of the pro skins. I bought some of the elite skins. So I put extra money in there than what I normally would have for any other video game.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's
But
where
you sound like you are poo-pooing the mobile market more than you would doing the same thing
No,
in a
what I'm-
PC market.
what I'm saying more is I would have heavily like 10 years ago. Now I don't really care. But to a degree, I think it's absurd to dump $20,000 into a mobile game.
what is the difference?
Or a game, I should say.
I'm playing heavy devil's advocate here because, like I said, I have a firm difference between a mobile game and a normal game. Like EVE Online is a great example of like when shit happens in that game, like the $5,000 heist that just went down.
Yeah.
Like that's $5,000 real dollars that people then made real money. Like took but then you look at a mobile game, you go, come on. And I think only because mobile games, I could not tell you one that has had a 5-year lifespan that wasn't Candy Crush.
Right. I think that's the thing, the longevity. And then to a degree, the mobile games are legit designed. I mean, granted, all games are designed to make money. But like this game, I think last year in 2019, it pulled like $1 billion. I could be wrong with that number. But
so they're making money.
They're making a ton of money. But the thing is, like you're saying, most mobile games burn out after 2-3 years. So like it could be in and out. Meanwhile, EVE has been like going on since like what, 2012, 13?
Earlier than that.
Yeah.
It's been a long time.
Like it's a long time.
Because people will just drop money, like go to a casino and you'll watch people drop tens of thousands because they're filthy and they don't care.
Yep.
And I'm just the type of person that I hem and haw at buying things I actually need. But I'll I don't impulse buy. That's what I should say there.
Yeah.
Hence why I didn't walk home with 5 stink lizards the other day and spend like $300 on that. Could have, almost did. Same thing. I almost bought a. I was not proud of this, and this is the first time that Becca will be hearing about this. I almost put on layaway it was a vintage military issue M14 rifle.
Okay.
So made in I think the serial numbers said it was made 1962, something like that. So it was a standard service rifle. All this, but the things they're fantastic. You could beat the shit out of it, and it runs just great. And it's one of those things where it's like, depends on how much. And I'm looking, I'm like, oh cool, it's 1055. I'll put that on layaway. I'll put $250 down now. I'll have them do, I'll pay it as it goes, and I'll pick it up in 6 months, and it'll be paid for. Talk to the sales clerk. He's like, yeah, a lot of people really like that, and then they end up turning away after they, really get their hands on it. Like, that's weird. Why? It was $10,555.
Oh.
The tag, because of the lighting in the cabinet and how it hit, blurred off the final 5.
Yeah.
So I'm like, yes, I understand. Here you go.
Good day, sir.
Yeah, it was one of those things where I'm like, I've been looking, haven't had my eye out for one of these. You could get a new one, the modern version of it, and it's, around $1,000, but get that classic, had never been, it was a military made service rifle, never had a round through it, just pristine condition, and it's like, yeah, I'll do it. I'll pull the trigger.
What do you guys think of this photo?
Stop squeaking at me, cat.
Please tell me those aren't.
Loki, what are you doing?
Right? He's like eating something.
No, he doesn't have his front teeth, so he does that when he can't feel them and he recognizes that they're not there anymore.
How long have they been gone for?
Oh, it's been going on for months.
Oh.
They said he just knows it.
All right, what am I looking at? Whoa.
Get it, don't get it, hate it. I'm just curious.
Whatever. I mean, part of me follows
all of that less than the cost of one gun. This is what I have to say.
Yeah.
Because they are anywhere between $10 and $13.
Hi, cat.
Well, wait a minute. How many are there?
I don't know. A lot.
But
let's
shoot
call it
something with it?
No.
Load all of them into a potato launcher.
No, but if we're gonna sit on the trains will make money.
That's why I'm gonna always try and default
I find that
to
be beautiful because I like collecting stuff.
Right.
It's
don't get me
a
wrong.
problem Casey has.
Whenever we walk into like Books A Million or anywhere that always has a wall of Funkos, I sit there and I'm like, oh man, they have this one, that's cool. I want that. I'd buy that. And then Bec's like, do you really want one? I'll get you one. I'm like, no. It's $10 for a hunk of plastic that I'm gonna have sit in the box and collect dust.
I don't do the I'm gonna rip that bitch open.
Oh yeah,
that's my problem.
Yeah,
nothing will keep its
Evan
hold.
gave me 2 of them. He'd gotten through Loot Crate.
What are you doing, Neil?
One is the Joker Batman, and then the other is a Scarecrow Batman. where it's like, okay, you got you Joker, Batman, awesome, and you found one through this that was.
Are we saying the Joker from Batman or like
No,
Batman with like Joker
it's
paint?
Batman with Joker, like Joker wearing Batman's outfit.
Can you
type of
just
thing.
send me a picture of the Scarecrow one?
Yeah, I gotta figure out where it's somewhere at the store.
He's my favorite.
Yeah, that's why I was like, oh, ooh, I want to open this, but it's like at the same time I don't, because the collector in me is like, no, don't. The person
The
who
value
appreciates
will be too good later.
exactly when you find out that it's not worth anything other than what you paid for it.
Because to a degree, you and like 20 other thousand people are also collecting it for that resale value.
Right.
I just default always to it's your money, do what you want with it.
Yeah.
So,
Dude, that's sweet. This thing?
Let me think. Yes.
That's badass.
Yeah, where he's like stitched together.
I'm a big fan of that. Like Beanie Babies. I wanted to say that a while ago. Things that people bought a lot of thinking it was going to be worth something. They were shit.
yeah. Well, I think first they were, and then
The
it quickly
first editions were
dropped
because
off,
they were pretty much handmade by some guy in Chicago
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know the Chicago thing.
or Illinois.
Don't hit the button.
or don't touch the flame.
No, he won't be. He's not that dumb. He's dumb.
No, he did just come up to me, pushing his tongue through where his teeth should be,
This is
screaming
true.
about it.
So Doom Eternal is also out.
Correct.
Yeah, how'd you like that segue? Because we
Through the fire. And the
really.
Yes, it's Guinness. You can't have it.
I have not played it.
I've
I've watched a lot of it.
I haven't played either. I'm gonna pick it up when it's on sale. Because I'm that. Like I said,
Yeah,
Spend
I still don't think I'm gonna buy this one. Like watching, I do not see replayability. Like it's once the story's done, the story's done.
no. Hence why I'm waiting for it to
Yeah.
be down to like $15.
Yeah, I got nothing on it. It is it's beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
The soundtrack is
phenomenal.
still one of the best soundtracks.
I'm not big into like heavy metal, death metal, or whatever you want to. That perfect
Doom
game
metal?
genre. Doom, yeah. But like the Doom soundtrack, I will listen to that.
Yeah.
The graphics are good. The gameplay,
The
solid. The
fluidity.
gunplay is
Yeah.
really solid.
Yeah.
Everything about the game is solid.
Yeah.
I get it. I don't know. Have they announced if there's DLC, campaign expansion?
don't think so.
multiplayer.
There is multiplayer.
There is
coming.
multiplayer.
There is. I didn't
It's
know if it was out or if it was coming.
asymmetric.
Yeah, it's coming.
What?
Yeah,
It's where one person is like the Kako demon.
yeah.
And then,
There's
like, you're essentially kind of like the Left 4 Dead god, where you're spawning enemies.
well, not just that, but there's one that's I think it's 5v1.
Is it 5v1?
And
I know
it's
at least
basically
of the
an arena.
2v1.
It becomes an arena, or one person is the Doomslayer, and the other 5 control different demons. Different of the higher up demons, and one of the demon players is randomly designated to basically spawn in all the others, so they get to control how the waves work. And
So it's like backwards evolve.
yes,
Yeah.
yeah. And they haven't released that aspect of the game yet, because I think they're still trying to work out some of the servers and the bugs for it.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure also because like the single player is like 15 hours.
Yeah.
So it's like let players play that and then
Yeah, let
slow
people
roll
complete
it out.
it. Let the streamers have their fun at first,
Yeah,
and then let them have some real fun.
right. And I remember the developers early on were also saying that they didn't want to do a normal like multiplayer where everyone's the Doomslayer, and
I think that would be. I don't know.
right.
I think
it
it'll all
might
be
come later,
entertaining,
but they're more focused on trying to bring that unique spin on multiplayer with the asymmetric gameplay compared to
interesting.
like the old school Quake, or even I guess the multiplayer in Doom 16.
Yeah.
I saw they released Doom 64,
Yes.
which is kind of cool.
And supposedly there's something there's a tie between Eternal and 64, where I think if you beat Doom 64 and you unlock like the secret weapon in that, it unlocks an Eternal.
Oh, neat.
Really?
Yeah.
Is
For the obviously New Game Plus style thing.
Is Eternal a direct or spiritual sequel or prequel to 16?
It is a direct sequel.
Direct sequel.
yeah.
So you are the same
Yep.
Doomslayer.
Same Doomslayer, and
Okay.
because 16 is supposed to be, I think, an indirect yet not
Like a C boot.
Yeah, of the original Doom.
So spiritual
Yeah.
successor.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Where
Interesting.
it's implied that the events of that original Doom still happened,
Mhm.
but it isn't. And then this game goes into the more of the lore, and it's like, what the hell is happening?
There is a lot of lore in this one.
Yeah.
Which is very cool to.
That's been fun to actually like hear people who are really big into like the actual like lore of video games and that writing, and seeing them basically losing their minds over, oh man, this is deeper than just shoot the demons.
Yeah.
Right? You know, and it's a better explanation that they're just aliens, because
Mhm.
they are, but they aren't. And
Right.
yeah, it gets wild.
Interesting.
Speaking of wild, Animal Crossing.
That was the best segment we will, little switch over we'll ever do.
Yeah.
Speaking
of wild, New Horizon.
I punched
Yeah.
a penguin.
Damn it.
What?
Just kidding.
You yelled at
Man,
the
you miss
penguin.
hockey that much.
Yep.
I'd punch a penguin.
Oh man, those memes are so good.
They really are. Animal Crossing is fantastic. I played it.
You're the only one who actually out of this group has played it.
I've been playing it a lot.
Yeah.
Would you consider it to be better than other Animal Crossings? And explain.
And explain. There's some stuff it does really neat.
Does it have enough dedicated way?
It has a lot of dedicated. It's fucking beautiful, dude.
I've seen.
Animal Crossing has never been a good-looking game, and I thought that was always kind of a cool
Correct.
little niche about it. Like it was
I love games that are like that.
slapdash.
Mhm.
This one looks beautiful. The villager's too tall. You got too much leg going on.
Ooh,
It's a silly thing.
Mhm.
But like when you look at like them standing next to each other, everyone kind of used to be the same height.
yeah.
Villager is very much a human,
Mhm.
and I'm like, oh,
Right,
I
and
don't
especially
need that in my
since
life.
we grew up with the original, they
Where
were
he
like
was-
very cartoonish and like
Yeah.
squat. It's like I want that.
They
but-
have kept the same running and like sneaker screech
Nice.
sound and animation since the GameCube one. I think it does a lot of stuff really good. I so far don't have any real complaints besides the height thing, and it's really, really petty.
I don't know. That's a game breaking.
I doubt people even thought about it, because like most of Animal Crossing, I would think Animal Crossing got its like stride on DS.
Yeah.
So people didn't know because your screen's smaller than your phone.
Mhm.
Right.
Like I think that played a factor. But it's great looking. They changed some stuff. Like now there's like resources. So like you have to chop down trees to get
Aw.
hardwood, softwood, and wood.
Oh.
And there's also rocks everywhere to get stone, clay, gold, iron ingots, because now you can like craft a bunch of stuff.
Fun.
And I lied. I do have a complaint. I hate that the tools can they break.
Oh no.
And
Just like real life.
yeah. But I got like
Unless you get yourself some good old fashioned German steel tools.
mhm. I don't know why I went Texas on that. Yeah. Every
Guten Tag.
every German is gay in my voice.
In my voice.
And yeah, in my voice.
Oh,
When
I
I
thought-
do the voice,
I
every
thought you were
German is gay.
About to say in my book.
No.
Oh, guten Tag,
No,
sir.
it's when I do the voice, I watch too much.
Yeehaw, we are from Texas.
Exactly. I watch a lot of Beer Fest, so they're got
Yeah.
it in my head. I get it. It's a thing. Animal Crossing's a damn casual game. Stop making my shit break.
I agree with that.
Thanks,
I mean, I haven't
Zelda.
played, but I agree with any game.
I was
Breath of the
actually-
Wind destroyed tools. I don't care what anyone says.
Now that Zelda has that
Zelda.
Zordor, and Animal Crossing, I can't wait for Metroid to get that mechanic, Star Fox, and Mario.
Star Fox, you can't do a barrel roll
It
because your
aggra-
engine's broke.
Oh God, I could easily see them implementing that into Pikmin.
Yeah.
Oh, that would be
It's-
fun, actually.
It's
Yeah.
Pikmin. It makes sense though. The whole
Correct.
thing is it broke, but like, it's small. It
Mhm.
really is. I get the point of it. It's so you can build the flimsy version, then you got to get the flimsy version, build the nice version.
It's like my complaint with Fallout 4, among many, was the fact that I want to play the game that I want to play, and you are supposed to allow me to do that. So I want to play a character that's just stupid.
well, there was 4 other games before this that didn't have this mechanic.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, that's the same with Fallout 4,
Fallout 4 shouldn't be called Fallout. It should be called something else.
right? No, where you get to that one point where it's like, oh, it doesn't matter what faction you're with. You get to a point, you got to have a high enough science and intelligence, and it's like, oh, okay, I don't.
Right.
Thanks,
I
Todd.
put everything
I'm a
into
dirty,
charisma because
dirty
I wanted
luck
to talk
build.
my way everywhere.
Right. Yeah, charisma and luck.
Yeah.
And then it just railroads you into, nope, you got to build a turret and you got to build a generator, but you can't build that generator for that turret. And you're like, oh, thank you guys. I spent $60 on this game that you advertised as being play as you want to
Yeah.
play, and then you now steamroll me into playing it the way you want me to play it.
Yeah.
Thanks.
That's why I dropped Skyrim when I couldn't play left-handed.
I mean, you can?
Couldn't
What?
put the shield in the right.
Really?
Yeah.
Seriously?
Yeah.
So you can put a weapon there,
Yeah.
but you couldn't put the shield
I could
there.
dual wield swords or daggers, but I couldn't do sword in my left, shield in my right, which is a lefty format.
Yeah.
Is
It
the
wouldn't let
Zelda
me.
Force
Did
the
you let them
medieval
know?
format.
What?
Did you let them know, Bethesda?
No, this was back in like 07 when it came out. I'm
Should have
like,
let them know. Todd Howard would have gotten
didn't-
right
They've
on it.
only made 17 renditions of the
I
same game. They could have patched it at some
I wonder
point.
if anybody's
Or
made a mod
modded.
for it.
Oh,
that way.
guaranteed.
Yeah,
Sure,
since
there's a
yeah.
lefty mod.
But it don't matter.
I
I'm
mean,
like,
if there's Thomas the Tank Engine trains,
Thomas
there's
the
gotta
Tank
be-
Engine, yeah.
But Animal Crossing is great. I'm
Um,
thoroughly enjoying it.
little fun story building off of the whole like your equipment breaking.
Mhm.
So back in the early days of Minecraft, when they just started the multiplayer, we had servers back in college.
We can be okay boomers right now because we were
Oh, yeah.
playing like I bought Minecraft for $3.17
I have another
Wow.
good.
because he was so smart.
Yeah.
Depending on how far along the process he was in making game, depended on how much he charged.
Yep.
Yeah.
We played before there were boats, before there was rail cars. Like there was
The
like
Redstone?
nothing. No.
Yeah.
Rail cars.
Right,
Oh,
well,
well,
I'm just
before
saying-
Redstone too.
Yeah.
Like none of that existed when we like.
So you guys bought in when he was still
Yeah.
like developing.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. When I think it was still essentially alpha.
yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
So my story within Minecraft is
7,
uh
8.
Damn.
yeah, because it was like right before going off to college. So multiplayer comes out, and my friends and I were building this world. My friend Matt is continuously building these gigantic pyramids, and like we're all scattered. And I'm like, I just want to dig an entire autobahn just down underground between connecting all of them. And at the time, there was a bug where your diamond or any item was almost near breaking after use. If you dropped it and pick it back up, it had full health, and it stayed that way for like 2 to 4 weeks. I can't remember exactly, but I know as soon as they patched that, I'm like, I drastically lost interest in this game. And then to build off of the Boomer Gamer story, so Rainbow Six Siege, for some reason, for one weekend only, from the 19th to the 23rd, they had the Golden Gun mode. Plays out exactly what you think. So I was talking like
Should we explain to our audience what that is?
probably
No.
just in case.
No.
Well,
if
no,
you
no,
don't
actually-
know what golden gun is, I don't get out of here.
It
You're
actually
gonna
kind
get a
of
letter from my mom. She's gonna be like, "You guys shouldn't be shooting golden weapons."
you guys are
We should be
grounded.
shooting weapons.
Well, that too.
So Matt and I were playing with 3 other randoms, and I'm like, oh, this is, so nice that, I'm glad this mode is in here. And they're like, yeah, I'm so happy that it's from Call of Duty. I'm like, what? No, this is from GoldenEye. And they're like, what? I'm like, yeah, GoldenEye on the N64. They had a golden gun because of the movie, and it one shot, and that's why they have the mode Golden Gun.
Were they thinking that it was based off like
A Call of Duty mode.
Call of
ammo,
Duty
like
one.
the gun skins?
Probably, but I got the
Because
response
Call of Duty, as
of-
far as I know, never had a golden gun mode.
I
Or a
could have also
one-shot-
misheard. Maybe it was
there was
another
like a
game.
headshots only one.
But the fact that these kids weren't referencing
Yeah.
GoldenEye and they had no clue what I was talking about, they're like, wow, look at this game historian. I just wanted to Alt F4 and leave.
should have.
You should have told them to Alt F4 because
Yeah.
they wouldn't have known what to do.
Like, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's
It was a fun mode, but it was also weird because when I'm so used to the Golden Gun mode being a free-for-all.
Yeah.
Siege sticks to that attackers, defenders,
Oh,
5v5.
no.
So it's not terrible, but it's like slightly like trying to get your head wrapped around those two worlds into this mode. It's like, it's fun. It was just weird that it ran for just that weekend and out. I thought for sure with COVID out that they would have extended the weekend to play the mode, but they're also adding an arcade mode.
just
Day off
drop
range.
the virus's name as if it's like video game with COVID out. You would think that they'd want more people playing.
Yeah.
French don't care.
No. Speaking
And on that note, get out, everybody. Ow. Keep
speaking
forgetting these
of
table legs are just solid blocks of wood and keep slamming my toes into them. I'm trying to like stretch out my legs for people at home. And I just
What?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
that sentence format
I'm
was
trying to
odd. Stretch out my legs for the people at home.
at home.
It's your mom.
What?
That was a weird response.
So,
Meaning, let's continue. Sorry.
so how has the quarantine affected you guys?
Well, you could call me Quentin Quarantino because I have no idea what I'm talking about right now.
And you have a foot fetish.
Oh, yes. My newfound foot fetish because I'm a director and
Yeah.
I gotta have a scene of all my female leads with their feet. Anyways,
And then personally had to strangle one because the actor couldn't do a good enough job.
yeah, his hands weren't realistic enough.
Yeah.
What is happening?
Inglorious Bastards, when the blonde chick, who was like the double agent or whatever, she gets choked out. Christoph
Waltz would
his hands couldn't, or he couldn't like do it how Tarantino wanted him to strangle her. So Tarantino was the one who was strangling the
actually
blonde.
strangled Diane Kruger.
Yeah.
Did not know that.
Yeah.
And he actually like
Because if you kind of look, like,
physically bruised
you're
her.
like,
With it.
whoa, those hands are weird for Christoph Waltz.
Those
And-
are clearly not his
Yeah.
tiny little Austrian fingers.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to watch this. I don't
Yeah.
remember that.
Oh, it was wild when I
All
found
right,
that
then.
out. So anyways, how's quarantine been affecting you?
Business wise, feckin' terrible.
I bet.
I mean, we have no gigs.
Yeah.
Literally nothing.
Yep.
I mean, we were doing 12 bingos a week, not including the big one that we have on Mondays. All of our bars are shut down. I lost a wedding. I lost a reverse raffle. And I have no idea when it's coming back.
Yeah.
And I at least have a day job.
Yeah.
My father does not.
Correct.
So he is zero
Yep.
income.
That's
Other
terrifying.
than that, working from home's great because I've been in my pajamas.
Have you put on
kids don't care.
your work pajamas and then you get into your bedtime pajamas?
Yes.
Good.
Lara made that joke earlier today.
Yeah.
Yeah. And this is I was talking to my boss. We have daily Teams meetings now
Oh.
to make sure that we're sitting at our desks because I have coworkers that suck. I'll call it what it is. So we have a meeting every day. It's whatever. We usually normally have one in a week, and it's like, what are you doing? Like, shouldn't you know you're my manager? So
You are my boss.
we were talking about. He's like, "Hi, hold up." I was like, if I didn't have literally 238 board games, probably bad.
Yeah.
But like, we just had D&D on Saturday. I'm playing We played D&D last night.
Yeah.
Virtually. I'm playing D&D tomorrow virtually. I'm playing D&D Friday, Saturday, Sunday virtually. Like, we're doing this right now.
Yeah.
Like,
But Daisy isn't doing D&D. It's sinkhole.
It's sinkhole shit. Like,
Hell yeah.
like my days are great. I wake up in the morning at my normal time, play a little Animal Crossing, clock in, go to work. Like,
yeah.
I blew a coworker's mind because she has like access to see our timesheets, and she's like, "Why are you still clocking in so early?" It's like, because I still like leaving early, and I'm in my own house, so I don't have the 40-minute drive anymore. So I just get to keep doing whatever I want to do.
Yeah.
Like,
Get your work done by what I'm assuming 4 or 5 o'clock, if that.
3, baby.
Yeah.
I work 6:30 to 3:30,
Yeah.
and I'm not taking that lunch because I'm in my house.
Exactly.
Do not care.
Yeah.
So I'm like, oh, cool. I got the whole afternoon. I can do other stuff. Like it's been, and this sounds really weird. I've been more productive because of all of this.
Yeah.
Because, well, I'm not working every night.
Right.
I don't go work all day, come home for an hour, and then have to go work again. And then I'm too exhausted to do anything. So like, we finally got curtains in here. We started hanging
Nice.
some pictures. Like, we redid we bought the curtains. We're like a little over a year since we bought the house. Downstairs had the same ancient curtains from the 60s.
Yeah.
On like the pull strings and like everything about it was bad. We bought new stuff and never had the time to take them down and put them. So we're like, you know what? If we're gonna be stuck here for the next 2 weeks, after like April 6th, like cool, I know for a fact I'm gonna work home at least 2 more weeks. I was like, let's go, let's get curtain rods, like let's finally get these up. The family room now is so bright just because even when the sun's in there, now blue comes in because they're not blackout curtains. So like it looks good down there. We bought a bunch of paint this weekend. We're finally gonna finish painting. We're gonna paint the hallways and paint the family room and living room.
Nice.
So next week, like everything's gonna look like different because we're like, oh, we can finally start doing. We started hanging pictures up all over downstairs. Like we've been so productive because I work days, nights, and weekends. I rarely have time off. Lara has to work weekends. Usually they're 13, 14-hour days because it's a fucking casino. We've actually both been home for the first time ever in a year since we bought the house. Realistically, since we moved back to Ohio, like we can finally start working on stuff together. So it really it's affected me in a good way personally.
Yeah.
Professionally, it's hurting.
Yeah. Well, I was going to say kind of the same. Work is non-existent in terms of the store. We had to, because it's classified my retail is classified as non-essential. And there's a fun story about that I've had probably about a conversation I've had probably about 50 times in the past 24 hours with people that I don't know how they don't understand this by now. So like Sunday, Beck and I, for the first time since we started actually looking at looking for houses, actually were able to walk through houses.
Oh yeah.
Right.
We went through 5 in like a 2-hour period on Sunday. It was great. Thursday, we're going and checking out 5 more, including 2 here in Northtown.
Nice.
Northtown City,
USA.
That way?
one is actually that way.
Yeah.
Maybe 4 streets down.
That one on Timothy?
No, it's not on Timothy. No, I don't remember.
What? I
don't
already
know.
said the street name.
Oh, so Steve's covered Tamati. No one's gonna figure that one out.
Timothy? Yes. No, it's off of Cornell,
I think so.
I think.
Okay.
But it's in that that whatever you want to call those houses, that area.
Yeah.
Then there's another one that's off of on the north half of the city.
Oh, nice.
Between
Jay Cox and 83.
Mags. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
In that hellhole. What I call hellhole because it's just a maze. And with all the construction on the main road, it's just a pain in the butt.
Right.
But
and then a couple others in Sheffield Lake to really point home where we're at.
The people who know where I live know where I live.
Yeah.
That's fine.
I know where you live.
I know where you live too.
This would be real weird otherwise.
Right.
Also, by the way, coppers, if you happen to be listening to this and figure out where I live, we are not breaking the law.
Technically,
We're staying at
the
my
governor
home.
said we could still visit friends and family. We just shouldn't do it. Oh, yeah. So back to that. So right now, how we have it is my Ohio City store is just closed. There's not much I can do. One business down there is during a pretty much statewide shutdown was rough last week in terms of just foot traffic. It'll be even worse this week. But it's given me a chance to actually get some like much needed like deep cleaning done.
Yeah.
And that's
And not just because of her. COVID.
Yeah, no, not just because of her.
Yeah.
I really ruined your chain of thought.
Yes.
Yeah, that was bad.
Yeah. If you were going to say like Corona Chan, that's fine.
Corona Chan.
But anyways, so yeah, no. So I spent 2.5 hours today just cleaning one section of our lounge, not even the whole thing, because it's like, I could do 2-3 times a week mop and wipe everything down, but sometimes you need a little bit more than that.
Oh, for sure.
So I moved all the furniture up there into the center of the room, and I just started doing the outer, and I'm going to do the interior, and I'm probably going to do that 2 or 3 more times over the next 2 weeks because why the hell not?
Yep.
But we have our Rocky River store open still for curbside. And that's where the conversation about what is considered essential and non-essential, business and whether you can be open or not. And people seem to tend to focus on, well, this isn't listed as non-essential, so we should still be able to be open. And I view it as you got to look at what's listed as essential because there's too many things to list for non-essential.
Yeah, for sure.
And the list for essential is 20 different outliers. And if you're just a regular retail business, you don't fall under it.
Mm-hmm.
You do not. So they want you to be closed. And we're trying to figure out what the actual punishment would be of being open because the state said that they're giving it to local authorities to actually enforce. And if you have a good relationship with your local authorities, are they going to enforce it? But at the same time, you don't want the state to get involved and then be the one group that says, nope, you know what? All retail, everything's shut down.
Yeah, you ruin it for everyone.
Where was I looking at that they were staying open, but there could only be 2 people in the store at a time?
I've seen some convenience stores do stuff.
Yeah,
like
there's
that.
stuff like that. Like, hey, we're here.
Well,
but
like Verizon.
so
So
little.
Verizon stores, they're technically fall under the essential
communications.
because of people working from home and
Yeah.
communications. All their store doors are locked right now. If you go up and you need something, you have to wait for their employee to notice you standing there.
Wow.
I found that out the hard way yesterday when I was looking for that damn Square reader.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, Verizon stores carry these. They have a partnership with Square. I'll just go there. Door's locked. Okay. There's nothing here. There's a sign. Doesn't say anything about the door being locked. After about 5 minutes of standing there like a schmuck, the girl working comes up. Can I help you? Yeah, I'm just looking for a Square reader. A what? The Square readers for credit cards? Yeah, we don't carry that. Oh, okay. Well, do you mind if I take a look? Because I guarantee you guys do carry them, and all that. You're a Verizon authorized. You're like an actual Verizon store, not just an authorized retailer.
Yeah.
And she's like, no, we don't. I'm like, oh, okay, okay, thank you, okay. And then she just closed the door and locked it, and I'm like, oh. I'm not even allowed in. There's no one else in there.
That sounds like almost like the same exchange that C-3PO had at Jabba's palace.
Yeah.
Minus the door opening.
Yeah.
And you finally got your Star Wars reference in.
We need a cheer soundbite.
I think, wait.
There it is.
I'm more
love
happy that I knew
democracy.
exactly what the button was.
Yeah, that would have been really embarrassing.
than
if you said
anything.
hit the other one.
Right.
That isn't that. That one. Okay, we need to do that anytime either any of us say something that's just like, what?
We can do that. We're going to hit that a whole lot
Oh,
because we're us.
But yeah, so we're doing that. But yeah, people, just friendly note. If you're ever in a quarantine and they shut down businesses and they say, hey, only essential businesses can be open, go based off what they consider essential. Don't go based off of what they are not reporting as non-essential. You're going to have a bad time because apparently down in Dayton, there's a salon that decided to open up to take in it was the owner of the salon. They didn't have any of the other people there, and she was cutting somebody that they had already set up. It was an appointment that they already had, and it was like, yeah, screw this. It's somebody that I know. I know that they're fine. $2,500 fine.
Jeez. Just don't do it.
Yeah.
It's not worth it.
No.
At that point, you might as well have been better off just driving over to that person's house.
Right. So yeah, so that's how my day and a half of quarantine has been. It's not even been a full day yet, and my brain is so fried from the past week that I thought today was Thursday.
Wow.
When I was driving over here, I'm on the phone with my mom, and I was like, yeah, it's our Thursday evening going over to record the podcast. She's like, well, that's great to hear that you guys are doing, keeping some normalcy, but it's Tuesday. And I'm like, oh, no. No. It was, that just, Hello Darkness, My Old Friend starts playing in the background. I'm like, oh dear, this is gonna be a long 2. When's this thing lifting? April 6th. Oh dear.
Jesus Christ, please come and save us.
Yes.
Oh, I found that. I had that picture and now I lost it. I knew I was supposed to bring something up.
Well, while you look for it, for me,
How's yours been?
Day in life is non-existent. I've been working a lot on my video game, and I bounce between working from home and every now and then going into the office.
Yeah, and it seems to be anytime I call you, you're working out of the office.
Yeah.
I call you yesterday morning, and it's like, hey, buddy, what are you doing? I can't answer right now. I'm at work.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
Yeah, work from home or don't.
I honestly, I wake up and decide.
Why would you go in?
Because there are certain parts of my job that I actually have to do go in for, because one of the systems is still paper based.
Yeah, paper based.
Although I should be working from home tomorrow. I think there's enough in my emails.
I will,
because I have two. I'm too functioned at my work, and it's weird.
Yeah.
All right, so that's our COVID-19 official day 1 of Ohio's stay-at-home order, which we clearly violated. Thank you.
I mean, even with cats, there is only 6 of us in this house.
Yet, if this is thing logic, one of us is already infected.
I mean, we thought it was him.
Yeah.
And thank God it turned out to be no.
Right.
Catch you guys next week.
And on that note, everybody, good night.
Thank you to Echo Strike and Clear Path for their song for our intro and outro from Stormcrest Music, and we will catch you guys next week.
Let the feeling go to all universe principles. It's time to lose control and get a little emotional. It's ending now, but hold on.